Hello guys, welcome to the new video. In this video, we are going to talk about a company which is into visa and consulate services. So this company bids or participates in the government tenders, and after the winning, they get to put the visa application centers. So they are in administration and facilitation part of visa application. Now the decision to approve or reject the visa lies with the embassy. It only does the end-to-end services until the decision part. So, for example, taking the documents, taking the applications, uh, taking the biometrics, scheduling the visa appointments. Now, the company name is BLS International Services Limited. Let's take an example. If I want to visit some other country, I need to apply the visa, right? Now, I'll go to nearest BLS visa application center and I'll start applying for visa. The services ranges from applying the visa, giving the biometrics, scheduling the appointment, form filling, premium launch, etc. Premium launch, form filling, or I mean getting the visa on courier basis. All of these services are value-added services. The core services are related to visa and consulate services only. Now this becomes the first part of the business. There, then there's another segment in the business as well, that is digital services or e-government services like Aadhaar and PAN registration, opening mobile bank, opening bank accounts, giving birth or death certificates, and renewal of passports, etc. Now, to render the visa and other consulate services, they need to participate in the tenders which are given by government. So whenever they bid and based on their eligibility, like service history and all of those things, the eligibility criteria, if they are eligible to win the bid, right, government gives them the tender and they are gonna put visa application centers in the nearest place. Now, how does it earn revenue in visa services and how does it earn revenue in digital services? Coming to the digital services, revenue could be in the types of transaction costs, registration fee, support service charges. All of this can be the types of revenue. Coming to the visa and consulate services, from the core engine, from the core part, the revenue could be from application fee. Whenever we are applying the visa, there's a fee, right, that which we are paying. So that goes to BLS International. Again, it depends on the contract whether how the revenue is going to be shared between government and BLS. That depends on the contract and the service level agreements. Let's talk about some metrics of the BLS International till now. In the 20 years of global experience, they have opened operations in 70 plus countries and are having relations with 46 client governments. Now, 350 million plus applications have been processed, not only visa applications but also all the other digital service applications like Aadhaar applications, PAN, or new registrations of Aadhaar, etc. There are many other services as well, right? So, other than visa as well, combinedly they have 350 plus million applications processed till now. There are 1,47,000 plus touch points for e-services, 45,400 business correspondents, 1,000 plus e-stores. Talking about the revenue mix, you can see the pie chart where currently 75% of the revenue is coming from visa consulate services and 25% of the revenue is coming from digital services. Now, they are targeting in such a way that this ratio becomes 70 is to 30. They are currently second in the global level in terms of market share. So in terms of market share in value, 17%. They are holding 17% in terms of value and 10% in terms of volume. Now the question comes, who is the first or who is the market leader in this space? So globally, we have an Indian company, BFS. It is a market leader in this space with 50 plus percentage of market share. However, VFS is not a listed player. Also talking about the margins, recently in H1 FY26 or Q2 FY26, we see that visa consulate services are giving a margins of 35% and digital services are giving a margin of 11%. How is revenue growth is sustainable? Let's understand one thing. It depends upon the visa applications, number of visa applications and number of passport applications, and it also depends on the renewals of the contracts. So we can see that there's a 90% of contract renewals in FY25. So that is a good sign. And also one more thing, it's a multi-country model. So even if it is, I mean, it's not only depending on the India for its revenue, it is connected with many governments or many countries. So there's a diversification of revenue generation. Let's talk briefly about the numbers, revenue, EBITDA, and PAT, and then margins. And what is the growth that company has guided in Q2 or in Q1, and for the rest of, I mean, for next 3 to 4 years. In FY22, the revenue was 850 CR, and in FY25, the revenue was 2,200 CR with a CAGR that has grown with a CAGR of 37%. And in terms of EBITDA, we see that in FY22 there's a 108 CR, and in FY25 there's 649 CR. That is a very good growth in terms of EBITDA. They have grown 82% in CAGR. And coming to the PAT, it has grown by 69% in CAGR in the last 3 years. So FY25 PAT is 606 crores, and FY22's PAT is 114 crores. You can see it on the screen as well. And the return ratios, talking about the return ratios, return on capital employed and return on equity are much similar, approximately around 33-34%. And the debt is to equity ratio is also very less, and is in good line with the balance sheet. It is around 0.2. And this is also a cash rich company. Talking about the cash flows generated from operating activities in FY25, you can see the trend from FY23, 24, and 25, how the cash is being generated in operating activities, and you can also see EBITDA. Now we can info something with this cash flows from operating activities upon EBITDA ratio is around 100 or 115%. Now that shows that this is a cash rich company, and also this company receives upfront payments in terms of application fees or whatever fees they receive upfront itself. So it is a negative working capital company. Let's talk about expansions. BLS has expanded its operations to offer front-end citizen services to central governments and state governments through its BLS e-Services Limited. This is also a listed company. Now in FY25, they have done few inorganic acquisitions, inorganic expansions by acquiring iData. iData is also in the same business, visa processing player. So they have acquired 100% of iData. They have acquired 100% of stake in Citizenship Invest, which is also in residency and citizenship programs. And they have also acquired ID Fidless. Uh, they have only acquired controlling stake around 57%, which is into loan distribution and processing. Now they have also entered into hospitality sector through acquiring a hotel in UK. The name of the hotel is Trifadian Hotel from UK. So it's a flex that even after acquiring approximately 1,000 crores, value of acquisition, still they have 1,306 crores as on 30th September 2025. Adequateness is a 2 to 3% margin business, and coming to the hotel which they have acquired, it can only generate 10 to 12% of the return for their investment. With the help of iData, they have got 1.8 lakh applications in Q2 along with 71 CR revenue. So let's talk about unique selling or unique value proposition or moat of this company. Firstly, we have talked cash generating company, so it has a good amount of cash sitting on the balance sheet. We have talked about the ratios, the CAGR ratios in terms of EBITDA and PAT. The 82% EBITDA CAGR is very amazing, and in terms of PAT as well. So one more thing is, whenever they are entering into contracts with embassies, these contracts, the duration of these contracts are ranging from 5 to 10 years. So the revenue for next 5 to 10 years is kind of fixed. It's like an order book for them, which gives revenue for next 5 to 10 years. Also, there's a good future visibility that in the next 1 to 2 years, there are contracts up for renewal worth around 1 to 2 billion USD. Entry barriers, there are many entry barriers in this space in such a way that any new company cannot just enter and bid for the tenders, right? Because BLS has been in this space for 20 years and they have good experience, they have good track record, they have been getting the renewals as well. If you talk, I've said right, there's 90% of renewals in the contracts in FY25. However, before talking about the rest, let's also talk about the future outlook, because recently they have won a contract from UIDAI regarding the Aadhaar Enrollment Center. The order book was like 2,000 crores. So the duration of this contract is around 6 years. So roughly we can see 2,000 divided by 6, 300 crores per year would be like the revenue. But that is only if they meet the minimum threshold. But then after meeting minimum threshold, even if they do good, right, the revenues potential could be higher as well. Also, they have been awarded these visa application contracts only by MEA to be placed in China, and they have also won the contract to set up the visa application centers in Kazakhstan for Cyprus. Cyprus is a country in Middle East, so the applicants in the Kazakhstan, if they want to go to Cyprus, so they can approach BLS to apply for the visas. Now, why is the share price falling? Because it's been 46% down from all-time high, and it is concerning a little bit to understand, to see that with a high growth company with a good prospects in the future, why is company share price falling? Let's understand this is a small cap company with a market cap of around 10,000, 11,000 CR. Now we can see the broader sentiment to be negative. There's a negative broader sentiment, and small caps or mid caps. Small caps and mid caps have been overvalued, and there's been a pool of their valuations. So that is one thing. So I mean, it is also getting the heat. And also one more point. Recently in October, they have faced a 2-year ban by MEA. However, that has been quashed by Delhi High Court in December. But then still, if there is a ban by MEA, we need to understand there might be some operational concerns, or there might be some concerns to observe or to look for. So investors in this space are not yet ready, or they are still lingering around those memories to invest with confidence. No, I mean, let it just take some time or few quarters to understand or to gain the conviction again. And also, there's very minimal or there's no or very minimal institutional or DII infusion in this company. It's like very minimal. If there's no DII participation, right, liquidities are dried up. Like there's no liquidity in the company shares. So whenever the share prices are falling, there'll be no support from DIS, or there'll be no support from institutional players. Maybe DIS are not interested because there could be multiple reasons. They are still waiting for the good valuation zone. Maybe they wanted stock to further correct. They are not comfortable with the business. So there could be multiple reasons, but we can keep an eye on this to track the company's revenue, to track the company's growth, and I'll also share you the update whenever there's an update in this company in terms of institutional infusion, money infusion, or in terms of any future coming contracts. One more risk is tender renewal risk, because as we have seen in the October itself, if there's an MEA ban, uh, also even if that ban stops BLS from entering the contracts, I mean entering the tenders for the next 2 years, I mean current contracts are safe, they can execute, that is all well, but that places, I mean that gives certain risk. If what if in the future this might repeat, and what if in the future there might be no renewals in the contracts. So the tender risk will always stay until and unless we see some ground level proper execution. And talking little about technicals, if you see the chart, 260s or 270s is a price where buyers have started accumulating, and I mean long-term buyers have started accumulating. So 300s, 310s, those will become the resistance for the share price. I'll show you a few metrics on the screen. Like you can see, the number of applications in HY 2026 have been increased by 21%, and net revenue per application has also been increased by 15%. That is a very good sign, because end of the day, visa applications and number of passport applications, all of the services will only generate the revenue, right? So after this, let's talk something about the tailwinds. What is current global travel looking like? What is current global outsourcing, visa outsourcing looking like? So in FY24, the split was like 62% in-house and 38% outsourced, the visa outsourcing. But in 2029, it could be like 50-50%. So that creates, or that gives us an opportunity, that gives BLS an opportunity to generate much revenue. And also in terms of total visa market, in 2024, it was $5.4 billion, but then the opportunity again will grow by 7% CAGR in 2029. It could be like 7.7 billion. This is only the total visa market. The total visa market by volumes also, like if you see 24, it was like 124 million, and in 29 it could be like 140 with a 3% CAGR. Because recently we see the growing trends like vacations, wellness, tourism. So these, all of these things, they fuel the tourism industry. Tourism industry's long-term prospects. Also, global travel and tourism industry is gonna grow at 8% CAGR from 24 to 29, from $2.3 trillion to $3.4 trillion. So all this shows that there's a piece of cake which is going to be bigger, and BLS is one of the company where they can take or they can increase the size of their slice. Let's talk about PE ratio as well. The trailing 12 months PE is now at 18.5. Now, when it comes to the growth, they have given a growth ratio. They are given a guidance of 25 to 20, again, yeah, around 25%. And if they grow at this rate, right, 20 to 25%, The forward PE for 1 year could be around 17. That is at a good valuation because coming from the 300s, 400s, it's a very good valuation. However, still we need to look with the trade-offs because there are many more risks considering the current market overview. So let's also track this company for coming quarters. I'll also do the con call analysis of Q3 when it comes. I'll also share you the results. And let's also understand if this grows in the way they have targeted. Thank you.